Welcome to another one of our family business podcasts. Our tagline for this podcast, which is really appropriate, is because family is everybody's business. And we know that's true, right, Stephanie?
Yes, it's too true.
We are doing this podcast so that we can talk about things with you that we can't talk about on Sundays, because our family is a big ministry family. We all work together, and there's a lot of things that we love to talk about when we get off the platform.
Yep.
And we are talking about how the day went, and even some things that Pastor may have preached on Sunday that we can't talk about publicly or we can't talk about in a group setting. We just really want to dive into some real talk here through this podcast. And Today I'm excited because joining me for this podcast is my beautiful oldest daughter, Stephanie.
Hello. Hello, everyone. I'm Stephanie.
You are Stephanie Alessi right now.
Right now, yes.
That may change in the future.
In a couple, 3 months, 99 days.
In 3 months, that's going to change, and you're going to be Stephanie
Muina.
We are practicing that name over and over and over
Muina.
again.
It's like Mu and Nina.
Muina.
That's it. That's perfect.
This is what you get when you grow up in Miami around Hispanics. And we knew somebody was going to come up with a Perez or a Muina or
something.
Rodriguez or something.
Whatever it was.
So there you go. Well, today we want to talk about something that you and I have discussed a lot.
Yes.
And I know we've been asked a lot because we've been writing music, we've been releasing songs, releasing new projects for our church. And it's been a lot of fun. And we've mastered mom and daughter. We know how to do that. But let's talk a little bit today about our working together in writing songs and what our process is and kind of how we worked out the relationship. Maybe you don't work with your son or your daughter, but you'd like to find a new kind of relationship with them where it's not always mother and son or father and son, mother and daughter. You want to get to a new place in your relationship with them where it's kind of a mutual relationship. You know, that's I got to tell you that's hard as a parent to shift those gears and see your kid as a partner and not a kid.
Can't imagine that.
It's not easy. No. One day you'll see.
One day I will. I'm preparing myself. I'm remaining humble in preparation for that. Really.
It's not easy. Those transitions are not always easy to make. But something that we've learned working together on Sundays is that in order to really lead by example, but also have not as much conflict when we get off the stage, when we're doing what we don't want to wear masks on Sunday and pretend to be something we're not.
Yeah.
So we can't have this peaceful environment on Sundays that everyone sees and they think, oh my God, their family's so perfect. They all just honor each other and they love each other. Well, there's stuff there's stuff that happens behind closed doors that we work very hard at to establish and really reach mutual respect. So let me just pitch this question to you. What is it like working and writing with me, your mom? And be honest.
It's like riding with Celine Dion.
Oh, Lord.
I'm just kidding. Like Michael Jackson and Celine Dion and Shania Twain all in one.
Really?
No, not at all.
Not even.
Well, it is super, super fun. Let's just get that out of the way.
Okay.
Let's
establish that right now. It is fun.
It is fun.
Yeah.
It is totally fun because you're hilarious. So it's easy to work with you. I think everybody could say you're probably one of the easiest persons to work with because you are hilarious, you're fun, you know when to get serious, and then you know when to just laugh and to go get a cup of coffee or something. So that's the best. But I will say that took a couple years for me to reach because I was not let's just sit back and relax and take our time to finish this song and let's go get coffee. Let's just stop our work and get coffee. That just was not my nature whatsoever years ago. Not at all.
And so let me say, we took the Enneagram test this past year. And you're an 8 and I'm a 7.
Yes.
And Dad is an 8.
Yes.
And I'm a 7.
Who would have thought?
That
after your decades of being married to an 8, now you would have to work with a whole new 8.
It certainly prepared me to see you in a different light and understand. So go on. I'm funny. I'm not always funny. Sometimes it's not
you're funny. You're funny. You're great. You make jokes.
Brother, you're buttering me up. What's coming? I feel like something's coming. I'm getting sweaty. Oh my God.
I think that for sure it was. I wasn't dating anybody. I was single all that time.
Yeah.
So for me, it was such a great chance to prune myself and to learn a few things and to
Sure.
lay myself down. And I'm being for real, to lay myself down and also know when to use my strengths and know when to just let go.
Yeah.
So it was, so working with you is the best, but it is definitely a field where I have to practice and trust the strengths and the weaknesses on both sides.
Right.
And once I finally came to that realization that I need your strengths and you need my strengths, and with them together, it could be, we can get a lot of work done with a lot of fun.
That's right.
And new friends.
That's right.
And memories. And it's organized and there's a plan. So I think that it's working with you is the bomb, and it's grown me up in ways I never thought I would grow up, and it has prepared me for the future in ways I never thought it would prepare me. And because now I'm engaged to a 5 who is much like a 7.
Yeah, it's true.
Very, very much like
Yes.
that. They're
Oh,
a little
Lordy.
in the middle. So it's working with you is great. I've learned a lot. Definitely learned a lot.
I can honestly say that mutual respect is, I think, the most important word. It's the main thing.
Totally.
And this might not be, our conversation of you and me working together, writing songs. That's not the average mother-daughter relationship.
No.
The average mother-daughter relationship is, mom is mom, and then she's just not anymore.
Yeah.
And how does she shift gears to know how to be a different role in her daughter's life or even her son's life? And it's not easy. And in Miami, the culture, the family culture here, because of the Latin culture, and it's in the Italians too, which is what we come from.
Yeah.
But it's really hard to find that place of mutual respect for your kids and your kids with you. So it's not easy what we're doing, and culturally, traditionally, there's not a lot of role models for us to follow after.
It's true.
So it makes it hard,
very true.
It really makes it hard, and there's tremendous respect.
Yes.
But sometimes there's this resentment that moms and dads don't let their kids fully grow up and release them. And, in the American culture that I grew up in, you turn 18, you're out. Get a job, get an apartment, you're out. Well, that's not the culture here in Miami.
No.
Families stay together. Families are very close. So I love that. I think that's super healthy. I think you need to help your kids go from that 18, 19, 20 into their 20s, helping them learn and develop either a craft or just be healthier in their relationships, stay in their life, but from a distance where you're coaching and you're helping and you're setting them up to be successful versus constantly correcting and criticizing.
Yeah.
And I have to tell you, I never thought I would be that critical mom. I just thought I was going to be the coolest mom ever. I would never, but I've had to pull down thoughts that I want to just really rush in and go, you can't do that, go to your room.
Yeah.
And you can't talk that way to a person in their 20s.
No, and
there's got to be mutual respect.
Yeah. And what a 20-year-old wants to do is, that's just my mom. She's just being silly. That's my mom.
And dismiss it.
And dismiss it, or you don't take your mother seriously.
Right.
And now that's my coworker. We have to get a project done, and I have to trust you. I have to take you seriously.
Right.
And I mean, our cousins and I, we make fun of our mom so much because you are a twin. And when you are together, it's even more hilarious.
Okay,
And
Martha Munizzi and me are twins, just for
Yes.
those out there who don't know.
And it's airheaded,
Yes.
just constant joking,
Yes.
take nothing seriously, goodness. It's just the best. And, we make fun of you guys, and you make fun of us, and we're all making fun of each other. And then you throw us into a room where we have to do a project, and we have to finish a song, and we have to partner with people.
Yeah.
And I'm tempted to not take you seriously. I'm
Right.
tempted to say, "Oh, my mom, she's gonna probably guarantee this, but it's not gonna happen," or "She's just joking, just ignore it." And I can't do that. I have to trust your abilities. I have to take you seriously. I have to respect you even more so because you're my mom. It's not she's just my coworker, so I have to like her. No, we have to have a deep mutual respect for each other.
Yes.
And it's perfect because we can put on the coworker hat plus the friend hat plus the mother-daughter hat. And I think what's so beautiful about that is don't really divide those subjects so much.
Right. That's true.
Don't, because I've been in a studio where I've had to be in work mode. but you've said something to me in mother-daughter mode.
Right.
And it's helped me and guided me and given me clarity in a stressful situation more than as if you were talking to me as a coworker.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
Like, don't be so strict about, no, Mom, we can't be mother-daughter here. We're coworkers here.
That's really good.
Or we're not coworkers here. We are mother-daughter here.
Yeah.
It's like, allow that to merge a little bit, because you can create something totally different that is full of wisdom, it's full of nurturing, it's full of responsibility and motivation and I think that it's really cool that we've just allowed those lines to merge a little bit, because we've created a relationship that's so rare and so unique.
It's very true.
But it's a give and take, and it's
right.
produced anointed music, have very, very strong relationships with producers
Absolutely.
and writers. So it's working for us.
It's working, and I think it's definitely effort on both of our parts and being aware of moments and really being spirit-led. But I want to talk also about the songs that we've been writing, some of the songs that are coming out of this house, of Metro Life Church, and then you and me together, because we're just getting started, Stephanie.
It's so new.
We're really just barely, our best songs are ahead of us.
Yeah,
I really
I know.
believe that. And you're writing crazy. You write constantly. You're writing songs, working with the label, and they're setting you up with all kind of writers. And I'm just watching you flourish, because your personality is not to wait till you feel it. You are a disciplined writer, where I'm more a feelings writer.
Yeah.
If it's not fun, if it doesn't get me excited, I've learned from you, really, honestly, I've told you this before, that I'm learning as much from you as hopefully you are from me.
Yes.
So your ability to say, okay, we're in the work writing session moment, we've got to get this done.
Yeah.
Whereas when Martha and I would try to write together as two sevens, we would get halfway through and we'd hit a wall and we'd be like, can we just go to Nordstrom? We just need a break. We can't. And you are such a great person to have in that writing session to say, we will finish this.
Yeah.
Push through and finish. And it's really amazing that me at 53, today I'm 53, am learning from my daughter who's 24. I've been writing longer.
Yeah.
And you're younger, obviously younger than me and my daughter, but I'm leaning in to learn from your style to be more disciplined. And the truth is, you'll have more fruit on the life of your tree than I have had, just because my ceiling is your floor. But I'm looking at you going, wow, this girl finished what she starts. Her personality is so driven that it's not just about feelings. It's not just about emotions. It's about, we're getting in that room and we've got an idea, great. We're not going to wait until we find the best idea. We're going to start with what's in our hand, and we're going to finish this. And I will tell you, that has been really such an inspiration for me, watching you, because I know I didn't do that. God did that. That's in who He made you to be. That's your heart. That's your character and your style. And so I can really surrender to that and say, I can submit to Stephanie too, just like she submits to me as her mom. And then we work together very well.
Yeah.
And one example, I think, is the song that we wrote together with Abel and Will from Lakewood. This is how we overcome. And actually, where you've talked about that, where you wanted to finish it and I wasn't ready to finish it.
No, and you kept digging. And I think what's funny is I do have that disciplined trait, but I do need to turn that off sometimes and follow the Holy Spirit, which you've perfected that. And I have to know when to switch that discipline off and when to switch that drive off sometimes, because it's like, wait, your mom she does not feel satisfied, and she's staying up late at night trying to find a perfect verse. Listen to that.
Yeah.
Let it go. Like that. I'm telling you right now, I'm not thinking of any better bridges or verses.
Right.
So who am I to decide what the verse should be? If she still has a creative drive in her, let it happen.
That's right.
So when we were writing that song, I remember like 20 minutes passed and we were trying to find a second verse or whatever it was. And I was like, oh, okay,
so
I have
frustrated.
an idea.
Yeah.
I was really frustrated because I was like, come on, we've been working here for an hour, 2 hours, and we have a track. We're building the track. Like, let's finish this. We have an idea. This is good enough. And then I saw you weren't satisfied. And it was this moment of trust your partner. Trust this. Let it happen. She's a great writer. She's a better writer than you. She is more Holy Spirit led because you've had more practice, and you know this was your baby. That song was your baby. So let the baby be birthed. Let it happen.
Yeah.
Let her do it. And you went home and you thought of the next verse after like midnight, and I think the next day you perfected it even more.
Yeah.
And I just had to wait one day, and then it came together, and the song is so much fun.
Such a fun song.
One of my favorite songs we have on the album.
Yeah, for sure.
And it was just such a great lesson of like, okay, trust your mom. Like, she knows what she's doing. She's obviously not settled on what we have right now. And if I'm not thinking of any better verses or bridges, then let her think of them.
Yeah.
She's going to do it.
And it's, for husbands and wives working together, if you're working with your son and he's going to take over the business, or your daughter that you want to go into business with you, and that's a dream you have, but you can't get past the relational conflict, we get it. It's not easy. As a matter of fact, Steve and I work with all of our kids, all 4 of them. But when you get one down and you stay to the principles of mutual respect and honor, and stay out of the zone of always being correcting mom or critical dad, you've really got to lay things down. As much as you're expecting them to mature and grow, we've got to mature and grow.
Yeah.
Maturity happens at every age. That's not just juvenile behavior. Maturity has to happen at every age, and it's not easy, believe you me, because you've had all these years to just be bossy with your kids, and now you can't be bossy. You've got to lay that down. But what you get from it when you do that, Stephanie, what you and I walk in and get to experience all the time, and now there's this way made for us, is such a blessing. It goes beyond the word blessing. It's a dream.
It is.
It is a dream, and it really is God's desire for us.
Yeah.
Now, not every parent should work with their kids. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Obviously. But if that is a dream for you, that you've got a business and you'd love to turn that over to your children, and you want to work together, we know that anything that you try to create legacy with and from, there will always be opposition.
And Mom, don't forget, yes, you still learn from us, but for me working with my parents, you always have to walk into the room knowing who the boss is and who the expert is.
Right. That's good.
I didn't do nothing to build this. I was gifted with the resources and the time to make this music. But I'm just going to be honest, it's not like I was starting this church 20-something years ago.
Right.
I wasn't having to fill out the contracts and look for the buildings and buy the chairs and share that burden. I didn't have to do that. But the most I can do is recognize that you put the most work into this, and you have the final word. If you don't like the song, then you don't like the song. And you've given me all this freedom, though, to share my opinion, to share my ideas, to share my creativity. You guys have given all of us so much freedom to operate in the talents and the gifts that we love and we're good at. But at the end of the day, we all have this fine line of or we all have this common denominator of knowing they're the boss at the end of the day.
Right.
And if they want to correct us on something, if they want to completely cancel something, they can do it. And do you remember, it had to have been 7 years ago, I was a teenager, and we were leading at church on a Sunday morning. And me and Chris were leading, my brother. We were leading together, side by side. And we were, I don't know, I think you came up to do the prayer or tithes. And I think we were going through the typical mother-daughter fights.
I'm sure we were.
And I was only 16, 17, and I was just dumb. And you stepped up to the stage, and you went right in front of the stage to start talking to the crowd or start singing. And Chris took a step back and let you go, but I didn't. I stayed right aligned with you.
I remember.
And you went home, and it wasn't like you were trying to correct me. You weren't mad at me. You were you called out what your spirit and your gut told you. And you went, Steve, I noticed something in service today, and I don't know if you noticed this too, Steph, but when I stepped up, you didn't take a step back. And that just sort of upset my spirit a little bit. And I don't know if you maybe have something to work on. I don't know even how we reached that conclusion.
I remember vividly. I remember what I said. I remember I said, Stephanie, I noticed that when I walked up, Chris stepped back, but you didn't. I guess I haven't. I've taught you how to step forward and take authority.
Yes.
But I haven't yet taught you how to back up.
Yeah.
and take a step back when authority walks in.
Yes.
And it didn't make you feel like, and the Holy Spirit really gave me that, because I wanted to not be mom. I was not going to take.
No, you didn't act like that.
I didn't want to do that because I knew what the enemy would do. That precious worship moment that was so pure and so beautiful, and I yanked it into the flesh, and I pulled it down into this mother-daughter. You're struggling and fighting me. That you just didn't know. You hadn't learned.
Yeah.
So maybe you were being 16. I wish
Yeah.
Mom wouldn't come up here and take this moment. I finally got this. But I had to teach you with love and instruction. I hadn't given you that lesson yet.
No.
So I had to look at myself and say, if you didn't teach her that, Mary, she doesn't know. Kids don't learn by osmosis. Instruct, lovingly instruct. And that never happened again. And I don't even think, I know you were.
I was like, I am the Absalom to the David. I was like, what have I done?
Gosh.
Yeah.
But it didn't take, and I'm certainly not perfect. You know, me and Christopher, man, he and I would.
Yeah, y'all went at it.
Yeah, I worked a lot of that out with him, thank God. He
Yeah.
used to hurt my feelings terrible. But, Mom, I was in the middle of that note and you walked. I'm like, okay.
And we're
dude.
17. We're 16.
Back up.
Shut up.
I know.
Oh my God. Yeah,
But we learned through that. But you know why I think this is such an important conversation and it's so good? This goes beyond working with your kids on the platform and just worship leaders who work with their children. This is pastors and worship leaders all over the world.
Yeah.
Because I know what that's like to have a moment and you feel like, man, I am just rocking this moment. The Holy Spirit's strong and I'm singing. And the pastor, I feel his presence. He wants me to stop.
Yeah.
And man, the enemy, that is really the truth is that's his most comfortable home. Mm-hmm. He is the most comfortable in that moment right there with authority and pastors and worship leaders and the worship because he wants to steal it and rob it so desperately. And that's why we need to do volume 2 on this conversation.
Yes, we
need
do.
to talk about that.
Yes.
Because I think with us being of the same blood and working together in the family, we've mastered this to some degree, but that doesn't mean that we don't still have a mountain to climb.
Totally.
And we still have to fight it. The principles that we have to use every single time we both take that stage, even working out what God's calling us to do. We're still working out the future of this project and what that looks like. You know, we've sat and just literally said, is it Mary Alessi? Is it Metro Life Church? Is it Stephanie? Is it Mary Stephanie? Lord, help us shape. We're not going to get in a hurry to get in the flesh and call it something. Lord, you shape it for what your purposes are, not ours. And when we keep surrendering that and laying that down, God's faithful. And Stephanie, I have to tell you, I love working with you for reasons that as a mom you fully can't understand until you become one. And I know that is such a sweet future that we have of you realizing more and more, wow, this is priceless.
Yeah.
And it's rare.
Yeah.
That we get to do this together. And it's a God thing.
It is a God thing. And I've only grown, I've only matured. And I feel like I sowed my seeds in the right place.
Yeah.
I sowed it in rich soil because I'm not only reaping a harvest of music and songwriting, I'm reaping family harvests.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. That's right. And that's why you don't want those lines to be so clear.
Yeah, it's true.
You want to scatter your seed all over that.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you will sow those seeds, you will reap a harvest of gifts and talents and ministry and then of family.
Yeah.
And now I'm seeing the value of it as I'm stepping into my own season of marriage. So
absolutely. Which is so cool. That's a whole nother podcast.
A whole other.
So the next time we are together and we talk about worship and music, let's tell your story.
Yes.
Because that's going to be a tremendous blessing to a lot of young people who are waiting on the right person. So anyway, okay, to wrap this up, I think we're good here. We're going to just ask you a question, Steph. You ready to ask?
Yeah.
Okay, so Dad likes to end each podcast with just a random question that you are not prepared for.
It's funny.
And is she going to give the answer to this question? I don't know. You're going to give the answer to this question. So, what is your favorite fruit?
Grapes.
No.
Bananas.
Liar.
Strawberries.
Ooh.
Strawberries. Ever since I was a little girl, I ate them all and I got a rash.
You broke out and you became a strawberry.
Yes.
You did.
And I still love them to this day. Take me to Knott's Berry Farms and I'll fill up 2 huge baskets and I'll start stuffing them in my shirt.
And people don't know this about you, but you are fierce about strawberries.
Yes.
That if they're in the house in the refrigerator, they belong to you.
Nobody
they're
else.
yours. So once you've moved out, you need to tell your future husband that this is a situation.
Oh, he knows.
He already knows.
He's seen the attack.
Oh my God. Y'all had no idea. Well, this has been amazing. Thank you, Steph. I love you.
Oh, I love you too, Mom.
This is
This was
wonderful.
fun. This is fun.